All right, one more difference quotient problem. Again, I'm going to color code for you. We're going to do f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. So for f of x plus h, I'm going to take our f of x equation, and everywhere I have an x, I'm going to put in an x plus h in parentheses. I did not leave myself enough space. So there's our f of x plus h, and now we have to deal with our minus f of x. And f of x, we're just going to drop into our equation in parentheses. So we're going to drop in 17x squared minus 13x. And once you have your f of x plus h and your f of x put in your problem, from here on out you just have to be very careful with your algebra. So go ahead and pause the video, expand what I have in green there, and distribute that negative, and then hit play and see how I did it. Compare, make sure that you can get the same to the same next step that I did. All right, hopefully you're back with this whole mess expanded so you don't have any more parentheses. The first thing I did was, the first thing I'm going to do is expand this x plus h squared. Good thing to train yourself. If you're squaring a binomial, write it side by side. I think that's really helpful. Even though we're squaring that binomial, we still need to have that 17 out front and parentheses with it. So x squared plus 2xh plus h squared is that binomial squared. I'm going to go ahead and distribute our negative 13 here. Minus 13x minus 13h, and distribute the negative into our f of x, so minus 17x squared plus 13x. And this whole thing is over h. And now we're going to distribute the 17, and then we'll be done with all of our parentheses, and we can just combine our like terms. So 17 times x squared, 17 times 2xh, 17 times h squared, and then copying really carefully. All over h. And now let's combine our like terms. I have a positive 17x squared and a negative 1. I have a negative 13 and a positive 13x. Let's see if there's anything else I can get rid of. 34xh doesn't have any like terms. 17h squared doesn't have any like terms. And negative 13h doesn't have any like terms either. So I'm going to bring those down. Again, I think it's a good practice to factor out an h if you're going to cancel it. I think that just ensures that you're going to cancel legally, making sure that you take an h from every term. The other thing you can do is break it up. You could also write it as 34xh over h plus 17h squared over h minus 13h over h. Break it up over the common denominator, and that'll work for you just like that factoring piece where you can take from each one without making a mistake there. Either way, you get 34x plus 17h minus 13. And that is your difference quotient. At that point, if you're taking the limit as x approaches 0, you could do it. As h approaches 0. You could do it because you no longer have an h in the denominator.